64 or 184, I can't really tell. Supplier now. One of my expansions goes down at the gold. Unfortunately. And I do think my opponent is going to try to move in and take out my third expo yet again, but I really don't want to let this happen, because that is just embarrassing, losing your hatchery so many times to a Marine Marauder snipe, especially when they're moving on the ground. So I'm definitely prepared for my opponent to come in here. And I want to engage him. I hope he comes soon, and there he comes right now. And unfortunately, my positioning of Hydra is not the best right there, as he moves in and snipes my hatchery again. So, oh, so embarrassing for the Zerg right now, for myself indeed. That is really, really the one of the worst harasses I've ever had. Just a straight up ground stim, take out the hatchery and run away. And unfortunately, my infestor was not in position to use the fungal growth to snare the army that time. Another Brute Lord morphing in there. And I'm actually gonna go in and go ahead and take out this 3 o'clock expansion, excuse me. My opponent has just now set up, so he is transferring some workers, as you guys can see on the minimap. I'm gonna take this out before he can get any major income from it. And at this point in the game, I'm feeling pretty confident, because I haven't really seen my opponent go for any high tier units beyond Marines and Marauders, which, as I've said before, you know, they diminish in power over time. Really, by this point, the Terran player can't rely on tier 1 units, especially when facing infestors, ultras, Brute Lords, and all that wonderful stuff that you guys see here. So if you guys were waiting for a long Macro Fest game, I hope you guys aren't disappointed, as almost all the late tier units are being used here. Brute Lords, ultras, and infestors. And really, this is just one of those games that shows you guys that long-term StarCraft, beyond, you know, all the way up to 200 supply, can still exist, as I'm almost approaching maxed out supply right here at 183 already.
We require more Vespene gas.
And my opponent here is over here. We are going to engage. And no, my opponent falls back, but I do have an infestor. Oh, wonderful. Fungal growth there over all those Marines and Marauders, almost half of them losing tons of HP. They are able to fall back, but they're all so fragile right now, and I don't think those the medevacs have enough energy to heal them. Thank you, fungal growth. And now you guys see I am at 200 out of 200 supply, so I have a super huge Zerg army right now. This is the biggest you can possibly make it, and still have a pretty good mix of units. The flying manta rays overhead, the hydralisks underneath. What can the Terran player do? There's also ultralists in there, big scary elephant tuskmen. I don't see what my opponent can do to deal with this unless he's got like 24 battlecruisers hidden somewhere. And here we go, my opponent stims up and engages, and my ultralists are actually getting stuck behind the hydralisks. But that's alright, my Brute Lords are doing tons of damage to the SCV line right now, actually. And there's really nothing my opponent can do, I don't think. He doesn't have anything to deal with this massive Zerg army. This is just way too much Zerg units to deal with. And the Ultralist finally actually gets in the front. And the cool thing is, you might be wondering why I'm bringing my Overlords with my Zerg units, and I actually just discovered this right now as I was playing, is you can actually leave the creep generation ability on as autocast, so whenever they stop moving, they'll start making creep. It's pretty cool. It's nice during a big battle to have. And my opponent's pretty much screwed, as my Brute Lords are destroying his supply depots behind his base, and he does call GG, so that is it for my opponent. And there you guys see the Overlords making a huge coop of creep. And I'm actually going to use the Infestor's ability here to mind control. There goes the mind control. For 10 seconds I can control the medevac, and it will heal my units actually, as you guys can see right there, healing before it reverts back to my opponent. So yeah, that was a pretty cool game, showcasing a lot of the late tier units and how massive 200 Zerg army will just overrun anything, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a pretty long and exhausting game for me, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was game number 21, and stay tuned for more HD Starcraft. Signing out.